Hi there, my name is Miles Krol, and I wanted to take a moment to speak about my experience with Christian and his Breathflow system and Breathflow services, which I've been partaking in since about April-ish of this year. So I met Christian at a Greg Braden workshop in New Mexico. I was attending a 4-day Greg Braden retreat, and unbeknownst to me, there was a breathwork component integrated into the retreat. It wasn't actually advertised in any way, shape, or form. I was heading down there to learn from one of my mentors and someone I've been following for a while, Greg Braden. And all of a sudden, they announced to us that there was going to be a breathflow session, breathwork session, which I thought was great, particularly because I've been in the health and fitness industry for 20 years now, and working with the body is such an integral component of balancing out the human system, body, mind, and spirit. Very often in the spiritual realm, we're focusing so much on spirit, energy, whatever that means to you in your experience, as well as the mind, psychology, our thoughts, etc., mindfulness, meditation. But the body often gets left out of the spiritual equation, and breath work is a tool to be able to help with that. So I was very excited that this was going to be integrated into the retreat. So I believe it was on day 3, we did our first breath flow session where Christian coordinated his team with the room of 250 of us, and I had an absolutely incredible experience. Not only was Christian superb at articulating the right words in the right order and sequence to help us activate the breath within us and this transcendental state, but his teachers who were there, the facilitators who were there helping him and the group were also superb. And my experience was incredible. I had an out-of-body experience at my first of 2 breathwork sessions at that retreat. And the second day, I had another out-of-body experience. However, this one was more about downloads and receiving wisdom from more profound and deeper levels of consciousness. So needless to say, after these 2 experiences, I was totally sold on Christian and his breath flow methodology and what he had cooked up with all of his experience over these years. And I proceeded from there to purchase some of his programs, as well as purchase a one-on-one session with him. Well, fast forward to later this year, where I was going to Denver, Colorado, to do a Joe Dispenza workshop. And I also had post-workshop booked my one-on-one appointment with Christian in person. So I went to the Joe Dispenza workshop, which was great. And then I went to see Christian for my private breath flow session at his home. Well, let me tell you something. This session was, and this is not hyperbole, this is the honest truth, the most powerful in-person session I've ever had. And I've done a lot of spiritual work, spiritual exploration. I've dabbled in many different arenas in many different ways. But this session with his breath flow method, combined with the words he uses, how he uses them, when he uses them, dialing in specifically to your soul and your needs and your intention, was profound and mind-blowing. I had a deep somatic release, which is very rare for me to have, releasing a lot of energy, releasing trauma, releasing what I would allude to as well as lineage trauma, which we store within us, and really connecting to the intention that I set. So it was so powerful. And in comparison to the Joe Dispenza event, because I literally did the Joe Dispenza event, 1-week retreat, and then I went to see Christian the day after. What I did with Christian in a private session in a 2-hour window brought me to a place physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically like that to release something viscerally and somatically, whereas I didn't have that type of experience at the Joe Dispenza workshop. And I'm not saying that one is better or one is worse. Everything is different, and everything is a tool ultimately, where people need to find the tools that work for them. But for myself, I found that one private session with Christian activated and released something within me that was so deep and profound that I literally herald it and hail it as the best in-person session I've ever done out of any modality I've explored in a private session. So all of this to say, if you're looking to learn the breath flow methodology, perhaps as an instructor looking to become a facilitator, definitely check out Christian. If you are someone who has anxiety, depression, emotional challenges, working with the breath with Christian and his systems, whether it's in his online programs, his group programs that he does monthly, or in person with him individually, check it out, explore it, see if it resonates with you. But Christian is amazing. He was a monk for 10 years, which is so cool. And he brings this very unique experience that he's had in his life with this unique methodology to what he does. And it's absolutely fantastic. So go check it out. And I hope you have an enlightening and illuminating breath flow, breathwork experience with Christian and what he's created. Take care, guys.